modeling question for you. So the diagram shows three glasses here, and the measurements are all in centimeters. And it tells you the different formulas you could use to help us find the volume of the glasses. Now it says glass one, the first one you see, is just a cylinder. The second one is a cylinder and a half sphere. So you can see where that splits up. So you have a cylinder, and then the bottom half is a half a sphere or hemisphere. And then the third one is a cone, and it gives you the dimensions of it. So it says, first of all, find the vertical height of the bowl of glass 3. That's this one here, the last one. And then show your work. So in order to find that, I want you to have a sense that this is a right triangle. So if I want to find the height of that for the last one, understand that the diameter is 6, so that means this is the radius. I know the slant height, but I don't know the straight up height. So we're just going to create a right triangle. The hypotenuse is 6. So we have 3 squared, that's that radius, plus the height squared, and then the slant height, which is 6. So if I can solve that, I can find the height, just creating a right triangle using the Pythagorean theorem. So to find the height, that's 36, subtract 9. That's 27. So that means the height is the square root of 27. If you use your calculator, that would be about 5.2 centimeters for the height of that glass. Number 2, we are calculating the volume of the bowl of each of these glasses and show your work. So for glass 1, to calculate the volume, it's just a cylinder. So we're going to use that formula. So a cylinder is pi r squared h. So the radius for number 1, that's the diameter. The radius is 2.5. And the height is 6 given. Use your calculator. Pi times 2.5 squared times 6. And that approximate answer is about, 118? And when we write volume, it's centimeters cubed. How about glass 2? You said you have a cylinder. We just did that one. Pi, in this case, the radius is 3. Now, just for the cylinder part, the height is also 3. And then we're going to add a hemisphere. Now, a whole sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. Now, the radius of that is still going to be 3. But we're going to take that answer and divide it by 2 for half that sphere. So again, use your calculator or Desmos, and you get about 141 centimeters cubed. And then for glass 3 is a cone. And it says a cone is 1/3 pi r, and again the radius is 3 squared, times the height. We just said the height was the square root of 27. So I'm just going to put in the actual square root of 27. Try to be accurate as possible, I suppose, with it. And you get about 49 for your volume. So you can see the cone holds the least amount in terms of volume. All right, number 3. Can you find the height of liquid in glass 2 when it is half full and show your calculations? So in glass 2, where's my glass 2? When it is half full, what is the height in terms of that? So, first of all, what's the volume in glass 2? So it's half full when the volume is halfway there. So we're just going to use that approximate answer. So the volume was 141. So if I go 141 divided by 2, that's about the volume of it. So what's that? 70.5. That's when it is about halfway there. So what would the height be if the volume is 70.5? So let's look at this again and figure out what would that height be with that volume. So we have a formula that we used here to find the volume of it. And so the formula we used to find the height of it was the cylinder, which was pi r squared h, plus the half sphere, which was 1/3 pi, or 4/3, pi r cubed, and we took that answer divided by 2. Now we know the radius and we know the volume, but we don't know the height. So we have 70.5 as the volume. The radius is 3, and we're trying to solve for the height. So those are all your values. We're trying to get h by itself. So if I was going to do this in one step, I would first subtract that number, 4/3 pi cubed divided by 2. So I would subtract what that value is, and then I would divide it by 3 squared is 9. So I would divide it by 9 pi. That would be all the work to get the height by itself. So I'm going to use Desmos 2 and then type it all in. So if I do a divide sign with Desmos or with the calculator, you can just type in the numerator just as you see it. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do a divide sign. I'm going to go 70.5 subtract. I'm going to have another fraction, 4/3. Move the cursor. Pi 3 cubed divided by 2. And then in the denominator, I have 9 pi. So what would that give me for the height using that formula? Now I get a small answer, like 0.5. That is the answer. So when it's half full, the height is 0.5. Go back here. So with that radius, a height of 0.5 would mean that you have half the volume. So there you go. A different way to model a situation in terms of what's happening. So Mr. G Math over and out. Great job doing your work. I'm proud of you. Until next time.